she said cheerfully to the somewhat startled old servant. "Sarah Jane is done with her lessons and her exercise." And I, who was fanning a coal fire upon which a clay pot was bubbling, thought a little. "Will you mend?" she asked, mimicking a needle and thread to express herself clearly. "Yes, if that is what you need." If there was one thing Miss Cassidy was good at, it was waiting. Of course, she was good at many, many, many things, but she had perfected patience to an art. However, Miss Cassidy's patience was not of that tranquil sort that allows venerable religious teachers to sit under a tree for outrageous lengths of time. Generally, when Miss Cassidy waited, she was also watching and listening, and taking note of things and people around her with an insight particular to a lady of her unique talents. By and by, she would hum a little, and chuckle a little, and drop an interesting observation or humorous word, and by dint of these little incursions, those around her found themselves compelled to engage with her. Thus it was that, while Miss Cassidy sat comfortably at the kitchen door, for the sake of the breeze, mending one of the captain's shirts, and Anai brewed her curious concoction, and despite the relative silence in which they did both tasks, in some curious way, they quietly became firm friends. "So that is a tonic of some sort," said Miss Cassidy with interest, as strong bitter scents filled the kitchen from Anai's clay pot. Anai nodded. "For the captain, for his health." "His health is certainly poor. Tell me, Anai," said Miss Cassidy casually as she busily stitched away, "what ails him? Is it this house? Why do they not simply leave it and move to a healthier clime?" The story unfolded at a gentle pace, punctuated by the bubbling of the pot. When Anai had come to the family, the captain was a happy, healthy, strong man, a sailor of humble background who had risen to become captain of his own vessel. His wife, Maria, was a striking beauty, tall, proud, raven-haired and exotic, born in the West Indies somewhere. Anai could not remember the name of the island, but Maria apparently spoke both Spanish and French fluently, and it seemed likely she was from either Jamaica or Haiti. She was an ambitious woman, asking her husband to leave the seas and take up a position in the British East India Company in order to better their position in society. When they arrived in Singapore, they already had their first child with them, the infant